Hello. Let me do my checks and I'll be with you. Hold on, please. And we have a special guest today. So
Lynn and Lisa.
let me just make sure that everything is working properly.
Hi, everybody. You got it?
And we have a special guest today. Excellent. Okay, we are in the house.
We are.
We sure
All right.
are. So let me go ahead and get this going too. I wish you was having a good day today. There's a lot going on, but we are here, and we're going to try to be here always to keep you in the know of what is going on with the latest and the greatest of everything. So we have one thing going, and she's going to get rid of that, and I'm going to get rid of this, and we are here. Okay, I would like to welcome everyone to our meeting of the encounters today. My name is Lynn David Livesey. I'm your full spectrum Gnostic, and I have a special guest today.
Special guest? Lisa.
Excellent. It's Lynn and Lisa today. So we are talking something very timely, and this is something a lot of people have heard whispers about, but something that's going to be coming in the future. And we're going to be talking about it, the pros and the cons. You know, the future is not good, it's not bad, it's just the pros and the cons. And you can't control the future. We don't have the power to do that, but you can say if you want to participate in this future or not. So, what are we talking about today?
Tonight, we're going to talk about brain microchip implants, linking your mind to the internet.
Excellent. Now, what this is all about is this. Okay. And we're getting started. We're already in the house. So, what we're talking about is this. They're moving us closer. First, you had to answer the phone. Then you had to work on your computer. And then they made you had to go to work on your computer. Then they made the personal computer where you could actually work on it from home. And then they made it where they made cell phones where you could actually take your phone with you. Then they made it where you could take your computer with you. It's a part of your cell phone. And now they came up with smart watches that they're saying you can wear 24 hours a day. They keep track of it when you're running and walking and how fast you're going, keep track of your heartbeat. You can even sleep with your watch and it tells you how you're sleeping. See, they're trying to get us used to having these devices on us at all times. And we are already getting lost because when you leave your cell phone, you're basically
your lifeline.
You're dead. Okay. So this is where we're going. But they're not finished yet. Okay. Where they're slowly going is something called diving. And this diving does not involve water. Diving is when they get to the point to where you have basically you have a chip or you have an implant or you have a device just like you have now with those insulin pumps where you can hook your device to you. And by hooking it to you on the outside of your clothes or by sticking it to you in the morning or by eventually putting it under the skin, you will be able to go around and you won't have to carry your cell phone. You won't have to carry your computer. You won't have to do anything. It will be a permanent part of you. Wherever you go, it will go. You and that device will be one and the same. And that is where they're trying to get to. Because this way, they're working on transhumanism. But we're not talking about that today. That's a lot deeper. That's the merging of man and machine. Now they're just trying to get us, as we already did. We already merged with our phone where we carry this device 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and we're lost without it. But we keep losing it, this and that, and it's okay. By having it wear like a watch, but your watch is limited on what it can do. That's the reason eventually it will either pin to you or have a little clip in your ear or eventually just implant inside of you. And this way you can be plugged in at all times. And we're going to talk about the good and the bad of what they call diving. Diving is when you are hooked up. Like right now, a lot of houses have Siri in them. right? Siri is always listening. She's always there. You just have to say the magic word, which is
Hey Siri.
right. And then she comes on and she answers your questions, do this and that, turn the TV on or off, everything. I'm not sure I understand. Okay, we shouldn't have done that. But anyway, that is how diving work. Diving work where you just say a word in your mind and the internet would come on. And with that, you don't have to carry your playlist, your favorite shows. You will be able to see and experience everything. And if you're walking somewhere or need to call the police, you just say, "Hey," something in your head, and I need to call the police or whatever. It will come on. Okay. And this will be pros and cons. This is what we're showing in the girl behind, because this way you will automatically have all the information you need. Okay. And the good thing about this, the reason why they are promoting this, that's why they want you to wear your digital watch 24 hours a day and not take it off and even sleep with it, because they said it can monitor your sleep, you monitor it. See, the word, it can monitor. Okay. We need to be monitored. Okay.
Do we want to be monitored?
We are very bad.
24/7?
We need to be monitored.
I don't
That's the
it.
reason why they tell you with those Apple watches and whatever, you don't need to carry your phone. Just wear your watch. You can sleep with it. You can do everything in it. They don't want you to take it off.
Okay.
That's why they're going to get to a device that hooks to you or pinned to you or implant to you, because this way you will always have it. And you can always be monitored at all time. That is why they're doing this. But being monitored is a swap off. There's pros of cons and being monitored. For one, they want to monitor you because they need to know where you are. Okay, they need to know if you're spending money. Is that you, especially when they get to digital currency. When they get to digital currency, they need to know is that, right now fraud is astronomical. It is becoming one of the biggest losses for the banks and for the financial institutions, because with all this electronic stuff, this is why China is converting to iris scans, where they have iris scans everywhere, where they have phase readers everywhere, because to cut down on the fraud. You understand?
Okay.
Now, even with that, the problem is, see, those scanners have to be everywhere, and those scanners are expensive. So instead of them putting millions of scanners everywhere, if you're carrying the scanner, that make it very cheap. They don't have to put them everywhere because you're carrying the scanner. And when you go to buy something, if they know it's you, because the chip in your card will connect to the chip in you, and it must be you, right? And if somebody else have your card, and that's why they're trying to get to things where in the future you won't even need a card. If you're going to go to buy something, you will just type in your code or just wave your hand or put your hand on the thing, and that's it, because they know it's you. You're carrying the device. You put your fingerprint on there. The fingerprint and the device you're carrying matches identity, and voila, you're good to go, right? See how convenient it is? You don't have to carry money. You don't have to carry currency. Nobody can be faking near you, stealing your identity, this and that. This is wonderful. Also, they can, that gives the police an upper hand, because this way, if there's trouble or a fight or whatever, as soon as they say there's a disturbance at this address, they can hit the button and it will show it in real time. See, London, England is already almost to this point already. London, England has more cameras than any other city in the world. These cameras have not stopped any crime. But what happens when there's a stabbing or something in England? They say there was a stabbing on what street? Okay, on the corner of this and this. At what time? They just play the tape back, because all buildings have cameras all over them. And they play the tape back, and then they zoom up on your face and use facial recognition equipment, and then it identifies who was the stabber, and then they issue a warrant for your arrest. You get what I'm saying? And then in court, you can say it's not you, but in court, they're going to play the tape of you stabbing that person. Right? Now you can say that's not me. That was somebody who was looked like me or my twin, or you get what I'm talking about. But if you have that chip on you, how can you say because your chip said you was at that corner at that exact time of the stabbing? Right?
Okay.
And just like that Apple Watch is recording your sleep patterns, it's going to record as you stab that person that your heartbeat was racing and this and that and everything else. And you get what I'm saying? They're going to use that in court too. Okay. And plus, they're going to know before the ambulance get there, the person you stabbed, is he still alive or dead or not? Because he's got a device too. So they can say, you can take your time getting over there. He passed away 12 minutes ago. Okay. It's no big rush. Or he's still alive. He's having, you see what I'm talking about? Okay. See, they want to be able to monitor and control. Also, this will be a great device in schools. They will know, the principal will know immediately how many kids are in each class. Hey, number 6302571 is walking down the hallway. Why is that number walking down the hallway? You get what I'm saying?
Be a number.
See, we're just going to be numbers. That's how it is in China now. They have facial recognition, and they're monitoring what stores you go into, where you went, where you ate, this and that, and everything else. And not 90% of this information is garbage information. But if you're going and doing things that you're not supposed to be doing, you know you're not supposed to be doing things you're not supposed to be doing, right? Okay. You know, you said you was at work. You was called in sick at work, right?
And
your number is supposed to be home in bed. But you're at the mall, you're at the beach, you're this and that and everything else. Okay. And that's one of those papers you signed when you took that job, that your employer has the right to your location information, right? And if you're going to leave for lunch and say, or a truck driver and say, okay, I'm going to deliver this package, and you're over there doing everything else. Okay.
Busted.
See, that they're already putting tracking devices on vehicles.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Now they want to put tracking devices on people. Okay. Because the vehicles are not causing the problems. It's the person inside the vehicles which are solving the problems, right? So by putting tracking devices on the people, your bosses will know what you're doing, how long you took for lunch, this and that and everything else. And you took your 30-minute lunch as you're supposed to. You came back on time. But it knew that you had those 3 beers during lunchtime. They might have to have a little conversation with you. Okay. You understand? Okay. You see what I'm saying? Because you're not supposed to be drinking on the job. Okay. They will know everything.
Scary.
But it's good. This way, if you had a heart attack or you collapsed, they would know immediately. Hey, number 613574 just fell over. Okay, we need to send up somebody over there. Okay, right? He's still alive for now. His heartbeat is moving kind of slow, but he's still okay. Don't you feel good if you fall, if you have like epilepsy or have a seizure and you're in your house and you live alone? You won't have to dial 911. They're going to pick it up. Hey, that number there is his heart rate is racing and his sugar level dropped real low. We need to send emergency services over there, right? Also, they will know, hey, that number, what are those 2 numbers doing together? I thought that number was married with that number over there, and that number is over there with that other guy. Isn't that number married to that other number? And why are they together at the Holiday Inn. Okay. But we wouldn't have to worry about anything like that, right? Because we would never do anything like that, right?
Right, Mr. Livesey.
Okay. So these are good things, I guess, right? Okay. Now, why would we agree to do something like this when we know that this information is going to be misused and abused and used every wrong way that's not supposed to be used?
Because they're going to force us to do it.
Well, not only because they force us by everything is carrot and stick. The stick thing is that with this device, you'll be able to access all the information you want. You can see, if you want to listen to a song, you just say, hey, I want to hear the Beatles, this song, and it starts playing in your ear. Hey, I wonder what this show is doing. I wonder when the football game's starting. I wonder what the score is right now. Any information will be instantaneous. I wonder what the weather is like. But you won't have to carry this device. It will be attached to you.
Yeah.
Right? You see what I'm saying? That will be the good thing. This is how they're going to sell this.
Somebody says, my company car has GPS and they always know where I'm at, how long my car was idling, if I'm in an accident, and when I'm speeding.
Okay. Now, they only know that about the car, not the occupant in the car. That is why they're going to the next step. This is why all the insurance companies today want you to plug that device into your lidar so they can monitor your driving. You know your driving needs to be monitored. You know that, right? Okay, right? You see what I'm saying? Now, they don't need to monitor your driving if they're monitoring you. Because then they know that number 71318 is doing 70 miles an hour on the freeway. They know he must be in a vehicle of some sort to be doing 70. So they might just go ahead and just issue you a ticket right then because the speed limit is 55 and you're doing, right? And they could even, and they don't even have to mail you the ticket. They could just send it to you through email. You get it in your head. Okay, this is wonderful. This is great. If you ever want to know how to cook something or how to do something, you just say, I wonder how to make potato salad. And it's like, and the recipe comes up in your head. Oh, okay. I'm running out of cat food. Okay. You want me? Do you want to place that order at Walmart? Okay. You can just say it in your head. Walmart, I need you to deliver cat food and some milk and this and that. And the message comes in your hair. It will be there at 3:00 this afternoon. And that's like, it's so convenient, so wonderful. It's going to be great. Right? It's going to be a whole new world. You think it's going to be great? This is how they're going to get us to get it. And depending on the model you get, see, all this stuff has pros and cons. Think about if you're in school. Now, of course, they're going to make this reasonable because the basic model might even be maybe $9.95 a month. You know, your kid can have it and it does multiplication and subtraction and this and that, and it has the basic. If you want to pay $29.95, you can get the little advanced version. That one takes you up to calculus and this and that and whatever. And if you want to pay $49.95, that'll take you up, cover all your high school programs and your math and Spanish and foreign language. You get what I'm saying? And if you pay $99 a month, that one has everything. Get what I'm saying? It is X-rated. It has this and that. You have chat. You have. Okay. You got 3D gaming. Everything. It's only $99 a month. You don't want that basic model. Think you could be playing video games in your head 24 hours a day, 7 days a week with people halfway around the world. Isn't that's worth $99 a month? Right? You don't need a controller. You don't do anything. You just, oh my gosh. I can hardly wait to get mine. Okay. What do people think so far?
Nothing.
Everybody?
Yeah.
Everybody's ready to buy one? Who's ready to buy one?
Yeah, they're not saying anything.
Okay. This is going to be a brave
Very
new
scary.
world.
Yeah.
But you will be in touch with everything. And if you get that one that got, that $99 a month special, you can watch all the fights and all the, all the sports and this and that and the Playboy channels on there. And you get what I'm saying, don't you? You could be eating with your wife and watching topless volleyball in your head. Nothing's wrong with that, right? Okay. The possibilities are endless. Okay. So this is going to greatly expand things.
So are you going to be the first in line to get that chip, Mr. Dipsy?
We need to get to, that's the reason with 5G, they're blowing through 5G, trying to get to something called 6G. When we get to 6G is where this technology will be practical. 5G, they promised us the world. And now that we got our 5G phones, a lot of people are not impressed. The reception is not too good. It's great when you're around cities, and you get what I'm saying? But as soon as it has no dead spots, that 5G is kind of, okay. You know what I'm saying? See, you can't have that if you're wearing the chip. If you're going to pay, you need to be able to go everywhere, do anything, and be able to tap the knowledge. You can't be taking a test in school and your chip doesn't have a signal. Because without your chip, you're as dumb as as a squirrel. With your chip, you know foreign languages, you know algebra, calculus, you know everything. As soon as you don't have a signal, you don't know jack about jack. You see the problem here? Okay. This is really bad because that would make us totally dependent upon the system. That means we would be a slave to the system because if you can't afford to pay your bill and they turn off your chip, or if you're really bad and they say, we're turning your chip off. You're in violation of your contract. We're turning you off. Like Facebook and these other people like to threaten people. Twitter do too. Okay. What happened if they turn your chip off? You can't do anything. You can't go nowhere. You can't open anything. You can't watch nothing because everything is controlled through the chip and they turned your chip off. You might as well just roll over and die, right? This is going to be beautiful. See, the pros and the cons is going to be really nice. Okay. So, what is your opinion of this?
What is my opinion?
Yes, an opinion of this.
Scary. I don't want it.
But wouldn't you like to be able to have full information if you want to talk to your kids or whatever? You just think their names in your head and they're like, yeah, Mom, what's going on? Okay. And you can have it. You can just have that. You don't have to pick up the device. You can say, I missed your phone call. Maybe you didn't really miss their phone call, but that's your excuse. I didn't catch your phone call. This way, you never would miss a phone call, right? You also wouldn't miss those bill collector calls that you see come through and you never seem to answer your phone.
Scam likely.
They would know
all day long
where you are. And they would say, oh, you're getting paid this Friday. And you're getting paid, $1,200. And you owe us $400. Okay. Right? They know. So this will open a whole new can of worms. See, this is where they're going. They want to merge us with technology, and this is what transhumanism is all about. We're a long way from transhumanism. But transhumanism is the merger of man and machine to where we eventually will be one and the same. Okay. And the reason they want to do this, not for everyone, especially the rich people, is because by doing that, like in some of the movies, like in, Ghost in the Shell, once you're merged with machine, see, the human body wears out. And unlike a car, when your tires wear out or your brakes wear out, you can get new ones. And with the human body, replacement parts are getting harder and harder to come by. You get what I'm saying? You messed up your arm. It's not like they can unscrew it and give you another one, right? But if you have a prosthetic body, they will be able to do that. That's the reason they want to merge us slowly with machine, because naturally we cannot have uh, eternal life. But if they merge us with machine, this way, basically, if your body gets old, you just swap off parts. And fixing up your old body will be like taking an old car and fixing it up, and you can make it like new again. You just buy replacement parts and you just fix it up, right?
Okay.
Okay. And this way, if you have the money, you will be able to cheat death. This is what rich people, that's the thing that they're afraid of the most.
Okay.
Because I don't care how wealthy, how successful you are, when you die, you leave with what?
Nothing.
Thank you. And all of your hard work and all of this is given away. Okay. You see what I'm saying?
One day we're here, and one day, the next day,
and this is the reason why the rich fear death more than everything else, because they have something called empire. They have their investments, they have their houses, they have this, they got everything, and they know that they die, they lose everything. But if they can escape death, put it off, what they're doing now, what the ultra rich are doing, some of these ultra rich people have been through 6, 7, 8 heart transplants, this and that, and everything else. But they can only transplant so many times. You understand? I don't care how much money you have. You're going to wear out, right? Because the human body is not made. They can only sew you together so many times before you start looking like Frankenstein. Okay, right? This is why they want to merge man and machine. Not me and you, because they want us to die. Okay. It's certain people that need to escape death. You know, those millionaires and billionaires and those people like that. They need to escape death because they don't want to all their money to be given away, and then everything is all the things they worked hard for is given to their kids, and in most cases, their kids end up destroying everything. All their work get flushed down the toilet. Why is that? Okay, because a lot of kids, they don't share the dream. Yeah. You know, a lot of people who's working to make empire, they're working to build. The kids just think about when they get it, how much fun they're going to have. Okay, they don't want to make the stack even bigger. You enjoy stacking the money. They want to spend the money. Okay. You see what I'm saying? Any comments so far?
No.
Okay.
The last comment was about the trucking.
Okay. So this will also go way beyond people, because they want to make everything smart. They want smart houses, smart highways. And if you go in most cities today, they have those giant light posts that are 60, 80 feet tall, that have like those circles of light on them. Most people don't know there is a circle of light that is giving off an enormous amount of light at nighttime to make it so easy to drive. But in those circles of light, there's a circle of cameras inside of those circles of light, and they can see everything moving in the city. That's the reason a lot of time most cities, modern cities today, have what is called a traffic control room, where they can see what is going on the highway. And they can see, hey, traffic is slowing up on this. And before you can even get on your phone, a tow truck is already coming. And they're not going to ask you what's wrong. Do you need help? The tow truck has one job. He has to keep that 12-lane freeway moving at all times. And if your car stalls out for any reason, they get there, They have your truck on top of that thing so quick and hauled out, and you're like, wait a minute, I just think I okay, because he want to make that giant tow fee,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And it might have been something very small while your car stopped, but hey, you're blocking traffic. We got to get you out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then you owe them $350, $450. You get what I'm saying, don't you? Okay. But that's how modern society is working.
Mm-hmm.
And they want to make everything smart. Okay. So there was this thing they were showing the other day on TV about what they're doing in San Diego, where they have they just created a smart dock where those big container ships come up and everything is computerized.
Mm-hmm.
And those giant cranes are operated by computers. And instead of having people, crane operators, pull those containers off, you have those cranes are operated by computers. They actually unload the ship automatically and put it on these little things that look like a truck, but they don't have a cab. They're just four wheels and a flatbed.
Mm-hmm.
And they wheel it wherever it needs to go. And you get what I'm talking about?
Okay.
And it's so convenient.
Mm-hmm.
They're talking about how great it is. Okay. They eliminated all the jobs. That's wonderful. That's great. And hundreds of people used to work there. And now it's wonderful. This is what Amazon is doing. This is what everybody is doing. This is what Walmart is doing. You go to the store today, they got 30 checkout lines and 28 of them are closed.
Yes.
Okay. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Or all of them are closed and you got to go to self-checkout.
Yeah, and Amazon is already building stores in California and other places that don't have self-checkout.
If I wanted a job at Walmart, I would have.
Then you're going to love these Amazon stores. You don't even have to check out. They either have it two ways, where they have the smart carts. As you put things in your shopping cart, it rings it up and it tells you on the little display what's in your cart and how much and what is your total. And if you take an item out, it will reduce it. If you add another item, it adds it. And when you're ready to check out, you just hit the total button and you little swipe your card and voila. Voila. You get what I'm saying? It's so convenient.
Voila.
Okay. But this is going to be the massive change, because what are we going to do with all of this? You know, if they eliminate all the jobs and if they're going to bring in smart trucks that's going to drive themselves and this and that, and they're going to eliminate all the jobs in the stores, and McDonald's are testing out places where everything is done, but the burgers and things are made by machines and everything like that. This is wonderful. What are we going to do? You have an answer? We're going to sit around and be monitored all day.
Sit in my rocker and watch Netflix.
Well, if you got the money, if you got the money to do that. Okay. See, if you have the money to sit back and watch your Netflix all day and whatever, and you won't even need a TV to watch Netflix. You can sit back in your rocker and Netflix will just be in your head and you can watch TV 24/7. Okay. It will be in 3D. Okay. 4D is what they're calling it now. I don't even know what that means. But anyway, but this is the high-tech science fiction, super advanced, super scary future we're heading towards.
And in the Bible it says technology will increase at the end.
Okay.
So that's, that's part of it, right?
Okay, but how are we going to be able, the problem is, I see a lot of problems in this future of ours. Because as I said, with like this, jobs are going to be very hard to find. And
Mhm.
a lot of jobs, like right now, the biggest growing job today is in the service industry, because a lot of jobs, since everything is being done by computer, this and that, your job is to service the computer or service the people, the things
Mhm.
that computers cannot do. And as that list of what computers cannot do is getting smaller and smaller every day, that's why the world is going to quickly go into the haves and the have nots. And the haves will have this beautiful high tech life and their beautiful high tech houses where they won't have walls in their houses anymore. They'll have glass panels. And when they come home, they open the door. The glass panels can show the ocean. It can show outer space. It can show a forest. And
Mhm.
you get what I'm saying? It
Mhm.
will look like you live in a rainforest because all the
Mhm.
walls will be showing the rainforest and the trees blowing and everything, right? Okay, that's if you have the technology. If not, if you don't have the money or the technology, I guess your cardboard shack won't have you know, be
Won't be
displaying
included.
anything.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? You living in a tent, you probably won't. Your tent probably won't be displaying the ocean or the rainforest or anything like that, right? So this is what a lot of these movies about the future is showing, that we're back to a two-tier society. But this
Mhm.
in the history of the world, what there was always was. There was always up until modern time, there was always a two-tier society. There was the rich and the poor. And then the middle class was artificially created because they needed workers. Then they needed skilled workers. Then they needed high tech workers. And now the workers are being replaced. So society is slowly breaking back down into what it was before. You
Mhm.
understand?
Okay.
Okay. It's going to take some time to get there. But what we have to do is survive this ride.
Mhm.
And as technology increases, um, you know they're planning on getting rid of cash. They're planning on getting rid of
Yeah.
everything, going to virtual everything.
Mhm.
Okay. And
Yeah, they're already putting the signs up at the stores again about the coin shortage.
yeah, and they don't
Yeah,
want to make
they just they
coins or
yeah, they say pay with a debit card, pay with a card. And I went up to the window today and I'm like, really? You know?
okay. Well,
Yeah.
but they're
So,
doing this because making paper money or paper or metal coins costs a lot of money.
yeah.
Virtual currency is cheap.
And they
It
say there's a
doesn't wear
coin
out.
shortage. They don't want to give you change.
But the
They
coin
don't.
shortages cause like everything else.
Mhm.
They don't see, to make coins you have to have machines and people to do work. And that costs money. It costs money to make money, right? When you go to virtual money, it costs you nothing to make money. So when you use your
Mhm.
debit card, you don't there is not like paper currency.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where the currency has to be replaced every few years. Okay, and paper currency is rather inexpensive, but coinage is very expensive. That's the mining and the dyes and this and that, and
Mhm.
that's the reason they want to get out of coins. And some countries have already started to do this, where they're starting to get rid of their coins and going straight to paper only.
Mhm.
They want to get rid of the coins because the coins, even in America, it costs more than a penny to produce a penny right now. Okay. So having pennies is just a waste. And that's why some places have already eliminated the penny. Okay. So this is a problem that they're having in the future. So a lot of these shortages are not always uh, natural. Some of these shortages are man made because they don't want
Mhm.
to spend the money. You get what I'm saying? Because they can go
Okay.
out and make a lot of coins,
Mhm.
but they're losing money
Mhm.
making coins. They would rather you use dollars or plastic. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
Okay. We need to do as you always know, what is good for business.
Mhm.
America, we think about America as good for, we talk about is, land of the free, home of the play, but America is basically controlled by the corporations. And America have
Mhm.
always been this way for a very long time. Over, 150 years, corporations control everything in this country.
Oh, someone says we don't have pennies in Canada.
Okay.
Hmm,
Yeah, they
I didn't
already
know
did.
that.
Okay.
Okay,
So this is the reason what I was just saying.
interesting. Yeah.
So they're planning on getting rid of everything. A dollar currency, I mean paper currency will still be around for quite some time. But at least the coins they want to get rid of very rapidly
Mm-hmm.
because they're losing money making coinage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You see what I'm saying? It's
Okay.
different when you was coining silver or gold, but now to make nickels and pennies and things like that, it's very labor intensive. Okay, labor. Okay. So, but we are facing this. So, what do people think about this high tech future?
They're,
Is there
they're not
anyone,
really saying anything.
because they never do? Because the reason is, see, this podcast, we talk about things which are on the edge. We always pushing the envelope.
Mm-hmm.
We're like Star Trek. We're always on the edge of the known, going into the unknown. We talk about things that a lot of people haven't even heard about until we started talking about it. And then
Until Lynn starts talking about it.
and then we want people to actually give an opinion on it. And they're like, right? But it's not that they don't care. It's just that, what the problem with the news we have today, they don't want you to know what they're doing. It's
Mm-hmm.
the game of bait and switch. You
Mm-hmm.
see what I'm saying?
Oh, someone says they love your podcast. That's sweet.
Oh, thank you. Okay. But it's the game of bait and switch because they don't want us to know what they're doing. They don't want us to know the things they're working on. This is why, even with the military, one of the biggest part of the military budget is the black budget. The black part of the military budget. That is almost as big as the regular military budget. And what is the black budget? We don't know.
And the reason why you started these podcasts is so that you could get this knowledge out there, right?
Yes, that is the purpose of the
Mm-hmm.
podcast, to let people know what is going on, because this is our country, this is our world. We have a right to know. And I believe it's important because instead of Apple and these big companies controlling what the future will be like, we have a say. And we can,
Do we?
okay, what I always say is this game been going on a very long time. Okay. We do not control the game. But you do decide if you want to play the game or not play the game. Some people don't want to play that corporate game. Some people want to play the game of being self-employed. They're making that game very hard now. Some people don't want to play the game of eating all this synthetic food and all this stuff. Some people rather go home and buy eggs and flour and rice and cook. See, nobody's forcing you. And this is why when they say, why do the government allow this stuff to be sold? Because they say, hey, nobody's forcing you to do that. If you want to eat hot dogs every day and pizza pockets and all this stuff, nobody's forcing you to do that. That's your choice, right? Okay. Because see, and nobody is forcing you like a lot of people today. They are spending $150, $200 a month on all their subscriptions. They got Netflix, they got Disney, they got this, they got that, they got all this stuff. They have nobody's forcing you to do that. It's up to you. You have to control yourself. Now we're not, we can't live in a cave eating honey and wearing animal skins. We can't survive that way today. But you decide how much craziness you're going to buy into, right? And some people can't control themselves. Every new device, new gadget, they got to have it,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
And they're constantly in debt because, they buy a cell phone for $1,200, and a year is the phone is only a year old, and they're trading it in because a
They are.
new model of iPhone came out.
That is not me.
And they even tell you, and they even say,
I
what's the
think I
difference
had
between
one
the
for
old and the new
about
model? A
eight
lot of
years
time,
or so.
there is no difference. They just make it so they can keep selling,
I just
right?
upgraded mine. Yeah.
So what I have done in my old age, okay, because I have so much junk in my house that I praise a lot, that I think is precious. That when I die, people will just throw out or sell for pennies on the dollar. But to me, my junk is important. Okay. But since I have so much junk, I can continue to go and buy the way I used to. But I have stopped because if I want to quit playing the game, I have to do something called get out of debt.
Mhm.
Okay. So now I only replace what is broken. If I buy something, it has to replace something else. I can't just go and buy things just because it's, oh, I saw that's nice or that's cool or whatever.
Mhm.
Because I have so many pots and pans and clothes and shirts and this and that and everything else and bed
Okay.
sheets and all this stuff. And you just keep buying and buying and buying and buying. And this is why we don't get anywhere. I have mentioned this 1,000 times before. Socrates said 2,500 years ago that once humans' basic needs are met, the human mind will automatically start to evolve and wonder, why is the grass green? What's on the other side of that mountain? What is the purpose of life? We never get there because there's always a new television show on TV. There's always the latest dress style. There's always the latest this, the latest that. You get what I'm saying, don't you?
And I think, well, with a lot of people and with me and maybe you, it's like the older we get, the less all that stuff really matters, you know?
Well, because when you're young, you need things.
Yeah.
But some people, you know, I've been saying this about women. Women can go shopping every week at the mall
Mm-hmm.
for 30, 40 years,
Mm-hmm.
and they still don't have nothing to wear. Okay. And they go shopping every weekend and they buy, but they still have nothing to wear.
Okay.
Okay. So what is happening? Is there a black hole in their closet or you get what I'm saying? And this is the reason why again we're being sucked into this high-tech future. Because they want to control us. It- they can no longer keep the old paradigm going about because they got to cut down on waste. So we going to go to the world of getting physical stuff to getting virtual stuff. You understand? Because today we're running out of resources. So we can't just keep going and just buying more and more clothes and more cars and more tires and this and that. So they're getting us to buy virtual stuff. And when you got all those subscriptions that's coming out of your paycheck for all that stuff, at the end you have nothing, right?
Okay.
The only thing you're buying is to be entertained. And that is people are willing to pay giant money to be entertained. This is what the Romans did. The Romans had gladiator fights to entertain people. Then they had horse races to entertain people. Then they had today we have boxing matches to entertain people. And now that have been replaced and football games and baseball games used to entertain people. Young people are not that much into baseball and football. They would rather be entertained by video games. And with video games, you don't have to build stadiums. You don't have to have teams. You don't have to have all these salaries and flying people in jets all over the country to play each other, right?
Just need a computer.
You see how easy it is? But in the end, you have nothing. You see what I'm saying? You can do it all in your head, but and this is what they was talking about in the future, about in the movie Total Recall. In the future, instead of going on vacation, which is very expensive, they could just give you the memory of going on vacation. So you can't afford to go to Hawaii, but they can give you the memory of going to Hawaii. Isn't that worth paying $150 to have the memory of how you went to Hawaii and you had to go? You never went anywhere, but you have the memory of your going. That's worth $150, right? Because in the future, a lot of us not going to be able to afford to do anything. We're not going to be able to take that cruise. We're not going to be able to go to Hawaii. We're not going to be able to do things. So you can just do it in your mind. Use your imagination. Okay, you get what I'm saying? Terrible. But I'm an old-fashioned type of guy. I want to get my hands dirty. I like to. I'm not into this virtual stuff. I'm not into, a lot of things. They even have virtual sex now and virtual everything now. See, this is crazy. This is totally insanity. I believe in getting your hands dirty. Okay, if you want to go to the beach, go to the beach. It's not that expensive. Maybe you can't afford to go to Cancun or this or that or whatever. But even if you live in the middle of the country, they have some very nice lakes. When I was in Ohio and all kind of places that you can go and visit and fish and you pull out your lawn chair and barbecue or whatever, right? You don't have to be doing all this virtual stuff. And if you want to read a book or do something instead of doing it in your head or watching it on Netflix, why don't you experience it firsthand? This is what we're missing out on. Today, people don't want to do anything. And perfect example of this, I live in the valley. I was trying to talk people a month ago about, hey, let's go to Houston. Let's do this and that. It's a 5 hour drive. I don't want to drive over there. And that's too far. There's nothing over there. I don't want to do that. Okay. I'm like, oh my gosh. People today don't want to do nothing. Why I want to drive all the way to Houston? I can just sit in my backyard and drink a 6-pack. Okay. You gotta drive way over there and then the drive, and I gotta drive. Okay. We need to get into things. This is what I like that with COVID. They reopened the parks. For the first time in years, I saw kids in the park playing again. Now the kids are slowly going back into their caves again. You get what I'm saying, don't you? They got their suntan. They're slowly going back in their cave. But at least it was for that second. You saw kids on bikes again and playing in the parks because they was locked up in the house for several months and they needed to get outside. And now that they got outside and got dirty and things like that, and now they're worried about COVID and poison ivy and this and that. Now it's time to go back in the house where it's nice and sanitary. Okay.
I was at the beach for a week and nobody over there is afraid of COVID.
Okay.
It's crazy.
See, we need to experience life. This is why I'm against all this high-tech craziness. Okay. That's why with my music, I have an album collection. I have a CD collection. I don't want to stream music that I want and just hear this song and hear that song, because then you don't never own it. You remember that one song, but you don't hear of that one artist. You only remember their one or two songs. When you have the album or the CD, you can play that person. You can hear their music. That's so old-fashioned. That's so 1970 and 1990.
Hello.
Okay.
I showed my kids what a record player is.
Okay, but this high-tech future, we're not going to have nothing in the future. We're not going to have anything. Everything is going to be virtual. Okay. You get what I'm saying? So, but we have a choice. We have a vote. And I have a TV and I have things, but I'm not glued to my TV all the time. I'm out doing things.
Go to your phone.
But I use my phone. See, since you brought that up,
Mm-hmm.
a phone is a divination device. I tell people, with your phone, you can contact anyone in the world. You people 100, 200 years ago used to go all the way to the Louvre in Paris, to the British Museum, because they wanted to look things up. They wanted to investigate. All of that is on your cell phone now. You don't even have to leave your house. You don't have to go to Cairo, Egypt to read. It's all in your phone.
Mm-hmm.
Most people say, "Really? That's in your phone?" Really? I didn't know that. I only thought, TikTok was in my phone and all this kind of stuff. They only know about the crazy. The phone, it has access to anything and everything. It's up to you what you do with it. And I do a lot of my research on my phone. I prepare my podcast on my phone. I do a lot of things. Okay. I'm not over there gambling on my phone and doing all this other stuff. Okay, right? I'm not, over there playing video games 12 hours, 15 hours a day. Now, I'm not going to say is nothing wrong with having some leisure time and enjoying yourself a little bit. But this is life is about work, trying to get somewhere. And in my life, I've got nowhere. But all of my life, I've been trying to get somewhere. And at the end of my life, I'm going to be able to say, I tried. Some people was given the gates to the kingdom. They was given the money, everything. And as the Beatles said, she had a ticket to ride in, and she don't care. Okay. I might never get that ticket. I might never get to ride. But I'm trying. And hopefully the day before I die, I will get a chance to ride. But think about the things I say. Enjoy your life. This is the only life you have. We're experiencing, remember, we're all spirit creatures living a physical existence. And when your life is over, if you lived 12 years, 28 years, 35 years, 78 years, 103 years, the same question is asked of you when you get upstairs. God only gave you one thing, life, and you have to answer for it. And he don't want to hear about how much Netflix you saw and how many, he doesn't care. Okay. He only cares about three things: mental, spiritual, and emotional progression. Okay. So you got to ask yourself, am I progressing mentally, spiritually, and emotionally? If you don't even know what that means, probably means you got homework. Right? But that is the only question. And it's great to have fun. And if you got that little chip, and God didn't put us on this planet so we could be monitored 24 hours a day,
That's
7 days
right.
a week.
That's
And
right.
they want to monitor us so they can monetize everything we do. You get what I'm saying? Okay. And that's what it is now. They're trying to make money off of everything you do. Everything is a subscription service. Everything is a fee. Everything is this. I don't want to live that way.
Yeah. I don't
Okay.
either.
I want to experience life. And I don't want to be nickel and dime.
Mm-hmm.
I've given you something to think about. The future is our future. We have the right to say yes or no. And for Lynn Livesey, a lot of this high tech craziness, my answer is not no. My answer is hell no. Okay. I'm not interested. Okay.
Okay.
I hope you enjoyed the podcast. I'm always here for you, to bringing you the latest and the greatest. Share this video with your friends far and wide, and I hope to see you again very soon. This is Lynn Livesey, and with my special guest, Lisa, we're out of here. Thank
Bye,
you.
guys.
Bye.